Hey guys, this is Zach with Saucy Sounds. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the Headrush MX5 EQ. There's two EQs inside the MX5. There's the graphic EQ and the para EQ. They're both really good. The graphic is more simple and the para EQ is more complex. They both give you great results and they're both used differently for different things. So since the graphic EQ is one of the more simpler ones and I actually use a lot in my presets, we're going to go over that. And don't think that just because it's simple it's not effective. It's very effective. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to take each EQ band one by one and we're going to boost it to the extreme and then cut it to the extreme. That way you can hear exactly what the changes are being done and what each frequency band does with the graphic EQ. So make sure you have a good set of monitors or earphones, headphones, that way you can hear properly. For this tutorial demonstration, I'll be using my PRS S2 Custom 22 with pearly gates in the neck and the bridge. Let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm just using a Marshall amp, a little plexi here, into the Headrush. This is Celestion IR that comes with the unit when you buy it, so should be free for everyone. And this is the stock tone. This is how it sounds. Everything's set to default. Let's go ahead and boost this low gain. And let's go ahead and cut the low gain all the way down. If we boost that, we're going to hear that low G really start to kick. So you can really hear it on those palm mutes. Right, let's take that back up to the... So as you can hear, this first band, the low gain, it's dealing with the rumble of the guitar. So not really the bass, but the rumble. And I think that has the biggest, or that's one of the biggest factors to feeling the amp sound. I know a lot of times with modelers, it can feel maybe a little bit disjointed or disconnected. I find that boosting this, you can feel the amp sound on the guitar. Whereas when you cut it, it's like it loses the power. It feels weak. Now, very important tip. When I make my presets, I make them so they are mix ready. So a lot of times I don't want low rumble, but when I'm practicing, boosting that is nice just for feel reasons. So, when you're crafting your sound, keep in mind, what's the overall goal? Is this for live sound and practice, or is this for, mixing and recording? Let's take that all the way up. Okay, and let's take it all the way down. Okay, so as you can hear this low mid bands, when we boost it really high, a lot of mud. When we take it away, we lose a lot of mud, but also too, we lose the body. So this is what I would consider the bass of the guitar. Guitars live in the mid range, so low mids is like the bass of a guitar and high mids is like the treble. So we got to be careful with this one. Taking away too much, you lose the body. Adding too much, things get really muddy and you lose clarity. On the flip side, this is a great way to gain clarity. So rather than trying to boost the high mids, you can actually just take away some low mids and that'll actually clear up the sound a lot better than if you tried to boost. We're gonna boost this mid gain. And we're gonna cut it. Okay, so mid gain. This is what I would call the meat of the sound, right? This is where the guitar primarily lives. So this one, I don't really mess with mid gain too much. It depends on the pickups. I've got another guitar, a Schecter, a C1. That one is a little more mid scooped. So it really just depends on which, how your pickups are. Mid gain, adding mids can be really nice, especially if you're trying to saturate an amp. I mean, if you think about it, it's like a tube screamer, right? A tube screamer boosts the mids. So having mids in there can be really good for pushing amp. It's really popular in vintage type tones. But then, depending on how your pickups are, you might need to adjust that up or down. So you just have to use your ears on that one. Okay, let's get this all the way high. Okay, that's as much as I can play because that hurts my ears. And let's cut it all the way down. All right, so high mids, as you can hear, it's like the treble, right? It's all the top end. It's not the sparkle, it's not the sheen, it's the top end. So this is what your ear is most sensitive to. It's that, you know, kind of 1K to 4K range. You could say it's where maybe the bite comes in, or it could be really ear piercing if you have it too high, as you heard. So, you know, this one, if your guitar, the pearly gates kind of have an edge to them, so it's not uncommon for me to roll this back 2-3 dB just to take some of that snarl off. But then if you have pickups that don't really bite enough, then you can actually cut this, boost this up 2-3 dB, and that'll help it cut through. Okay, let's do the high, boost all the way up to the top. Okay, and take it all the way away. All right. Okay, high gain. High gain I would equate to similar like presence, right? It's the air. If you take your ears and you release it like that, as you uncup your ears, you'll notice it's like there's a certain openness that you can now hear. That's what I equate the high frequency to, the high gain frequency on this MX5. So if you feel like your treble is good and you can hear the guitar and the clarity's fine, but you just want it to breathe a little more, or you want some more air, as so you can call it, that's where the high gain comes in. If there's like too much presence, you can actually cut that back, and that way you can, you know, control those high frequencies without losing the clarity of the top end and the bite. So up next we have the demonstration video. The guitars will be first without EQ and then with EQ. Now again, when you're in a mix, you're not gonna have a lot of low end. So even though it sounds great by itself, it doesn't sound great in the mix. And that's what you have to think about. Is this for solo practice or is this for blending with the band? Your front of house or your engineer will be very, very happy when you send them a signal that doesn't need too much tweaking and that already plays nicely. And that means your volume gets turned up. So be smart with your tones, be smart with your EQs. Alright, so I hope you guys got something out of this tutorial. I'll be doing some more on EQ, and post any comments or questions you have down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.